Have you noticed some changes in your parents that they are um, beginning to change a little bit? They're beginning to show that their age has progressed. Many of us are faced with that, particularly right now as I'm recording this. It's just a few weeks before Christmas. And so many of us are gathering back home with our families, and we're beginning to notice some things that um, let us know that our parents are not invincible and that they are beginning to change. And you're wondering, how can I help my parents? How do I help my aging parents at this time of their life? And this is not a difficult, or this is not an easy conversation. This is a difficult conversation to have with your siblings and also with your parents. So, what do you do when you realize that your parents have aged and they've changed and they may be forgetting some things, or they may not be able to get around as good as they used to? It's a difficult thing for you to see and notice, but here's some things that you need to do to prepare your parents going through this aging process, but how to get things in place. So the first thing you do, and you've already noticed some changes, you've already noticed some things are different, but the first thing you do is just assess their needs. What are their needs right now? They may not be in a position where they have to leave their home and move into an assisted living facility or skilled nursing facility, but what are their needs? Are they able to navigate through their home safely? Are they able to take care of their affairs? Or can they keep writing checks? Can they keep paying the bills? Do they know what's in their account? Are they able to do those type of things? Can they make their financial decisions? Can they make medical decisions? So just do an assessment and see where they're at this moment, and decide, is it time to bring in additional help? Secondly, you want to have open communication. This is where it gets really hard, because you have to have the hard conversations with your parents. So you want to have open and honest conversations about their wishes, their concerns, and their preferences for the future. Chances are they know they have changed some, and they know that it may be time to bring in some help or do some things differently. So have these conversations with them. Find out, do they have an estate plan? Do they have a last will and testament? Do they have a power of attorney? Do they have an advance directive for healthcare? If they have those documents in place, where are they located? Where can you find them? How do you access those documents? And find out with their living arrangements. Is their home safe? Can they continue living there? And that's going to be really hard, because they're going to want to still live in their home, most likely. So have these open conversations with them. If you have siblings, bring your siblings in on these conversations as well, so that everybody's on the same page and understands where you're at in this process. Third, create a support network. You need to build a support network that includes family members, friends, neighbors, and other community resources. I'll tell you, neighbors can be so beneficial. If you live away from your parents, particularly if you live far away from your parents, knowing who the neighbors are, having their contact information can really be of comfort to you, to know that there's someone nearby who can check in on them periodically, let you know if there's an issue, if they haven't seen them in a while. So get to know the neighbors of your aging parents, but also what community resources are available. Do they need somebody to pick them up and take them to the doctor? Do they need someone to deliver groceries to them? Do they need someone who can come in and clean and do those things? So what community resources are available, and what else can family members do to help support your parents? 4 is financial planning. So review their financial situation and help them plan for their future needs. This will likely need to be done with very sensitivity, because a lot of people, a lot of parents don't want to divulge their financial details with their kids. But this is something that is essential for you to understand. Do they have long-term care insurance? Are you going to have to come in and foot the bill or help take care of them if they don't have that long-term care insurance? Do they have retirement savings? Have they budgeted for potential medical expenses? Discuss their financial health. Do they have life insurance? Do they have a burial policy? Do they have investments? What bank accounts do they have? And you also, while you're doing this, make sure they have their payable on death beneficiaries designated on all of their financial documents. That will just make life easier, so much easier when they pass away, because those things can just pass directly who they want them to go to, whether it's you or somebody else. But they need to have those payable on death beneficiaries designated. So take some time and make sure those are done. And determine if they can still manage their finances. You may find that a parent who is always frugal is suddenly spending frivolously and just buying everything they see on TV, and that's not like them. So there may be some mental disorder that you need to have checked and determine if they are still able to manage their finances, and make sure there's no one that's preying on them. There's a lot of predatory people out there. So be sure, just kind of check and make sure they can still manage their finances. Healthcare is number 5. So do they have access to appropriate health care? Are they going to their regular checkups? Are they managing their chronic conditions? And do they have an advance directive for health care? What are their current illnesses and medications? Are they taking their medications like they're supposed to be taking them? Are you able to monitor that? Is there a way that you can start monitoring that to make sure they are doing what they should be doing? Do they want life-sustaining treatment if they're terminally ill or injured or permanently unconscious? Have that discussion with them. What do they want to have happen if they're in that situation? And explore ways that you can kind of take care of their health and help monitor their health. So talk to them about that. Maybe be sure that you were on the list to talk to their doctors and they've waived their HIPAA privileges as to you. And so that will allow their doctors to talk to you and provide their healthcare information to you should you call and ask for it. You may also, if you don't already have an advance directive for healthcare, get in to see an estate planning lawyer and have one prepared so that in the event something happens, you already have that advance directive for healthcare in place so that someone, you or whoever would be named as proxies, can make that decision. Number 6, is their home safe and accessible? So while you're home visiting for the holidays, assess the safety and accessibility for their living environment. You need to make modifications to reduce fall risks and ensure the home is conducive to aging in place. If they want to stay in the home, is it conducive to that? Do you have handrails, grab bars? Do you have a walk-in shower? A lot of aging folks have a hard time stepping into and out of a shower. So, or, kind of over that tub. So maybe it's time to replace that tub and get a walk-in shower or a shower that a wheelchair can roll in. So there are some things you want to look at and see what they're having to navigate in the home. Do they have to go up and down stairs? Are there handrails there? And how difficult is it for them to go up and down those stairs? Is it time to build a ramp? So look at these things and decide, what do they need if they're going to live here? If they're going to live here for the rest of their days, what do you need to do to make it so that they can live there safely? Finally, number 7, emotional support. This is a difficult time for our parents as they're aging. They know they're aging. And this is a difficult time for them to face some of the realities that they're not able to do what they used to do when they were younger. It's the reality of they're just aging. And this is a time that is challenging for them, and maintaining a strong emotional connection between you and your parents is just crucial. Regularly visit them, call them, if you live locally, try to engage in activities you can do together. That's just going to help contribute to their overall well-being. They don't want to be a burden to you or anybody, but least of all to you. Make sure that as this transition is happening, where you as the child are becoming the caregiver to your parents, that you do so with sensitivity and concern for their well-being, and assure them time and again that they're not a burden to you, because that's going to be their concern. You may find that some parents will try to hide some of their aging concerns from you because they don't want you to be burdened with taking care of them. So just keep assuring them that they're not a burden to you, and that you are willing and able to step in and help them out as much as possible. So regularly assess their situation. As they age, as you age too, assess their situation continuously and adjust and adapt your plans and support accordingly. This may be a time you consult with their healthcare professionals, consult with financial advisors, at-home care services, assisted living facilities, and other experts who can give you further insight and guidance. If your parents do not have an estate plan, or they have an estate plan that's more than like 3 or 5 years old, contact an estate planning lawyer and get those documents in place. And if they're older, have them reviewed to make sure it's still what is needed for them and meets their goals. But be sure that they have an estate plan in place. Be sure they have that last will and testament, power of attorney, and advanced directive for healthcare at a minimum. They need those documents to protect them, but also protect you and the rest of the family. I'm Tanya Hendricks, Huntsville Estate Planning Lawyer. If I can help you with your estate plan or your aging parents with their estate plan, give me a call at 256-361-1221, or you can reach me online at HuntsvilleEstatePlanningLawyers.com, HuntsvilleEstatePlanningLawyers.com. Again, I'm Tanya Hendricks. Thank you and have a wonderful day. Bye.